Cadence Bushong, how are you doing today? Or should I say Candace Bushbong is what I'd
Uh,
really like to say.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We've had kind of a long history together in your wrestling career. I thought we
hmm
maybe go down some memory lanes. Actually, I made a post just real recently about the COVID years, and your picture came up multiple times that you traveled to Little Wall Lake, Iowa, to get some practice in. Uh, you want to just talk a little bit about maybe some of those practices and some of those early memories of that stuff?
Yeah, that was like in the beginning of my wrestling career, and I think it helped a lot to like get out in the community a little bit and get to know people and girls and help my wrestling in a time that I couldn't really get out and do anything. Um, and also just some of the moves you had showed me that helped me as a wrestler in the future
Good.
after that.
Good. And then you spent a lot of time on AAU trips with us. You were in Florida. How many times did you
Yeah.
end up going to Florida with us?
I think it was four, and I was supposed to go the COVID year, but it ended up getting canceled. So
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
go
right.
that time.
So you've been both to Orlando and you've been to Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
Uh, can you say which one do you think is a more fun trip for you?
I think personally, Fort Lauderdale was better for me anyways, just because it wasn't as there wasn't as much to do, which sounds bad, but like when you're wrestling a lot, you don't want to walk around a ton and just I loved the groups too in Fort Lauderdale, and the beach being right by the hotel was really really fun, and being able to shop and stuff a lot was great.
I was out walking the dogs and I was kind of thinking about some of the things that we've done together. I look back, I think might have been your first trip down to Orlando, and we used my wife as the fast pass because
Oh
she's
my
in a
gosh,
wheelchair.
yeah.
And didn't we get stuck up in the thing that goes between parks up in the air during a storm? Was that year?
Yeah, yeah, the like sky glide thing.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, we did use her as a fast pass. That's funny.
And and I got convinced that I should go get what kind of cookies was that? Oh
Crumble
God,
cookies, and the line was
crumble.
like 2 hours long.
Yes, you lied to me about crumble cookies. So no,
Yeah,
it's been fun, but I recently saw you in a different role, not a wrestler anymore. I
yeah.
saw you in the role as a coach. You came to our tournament, coaching for South Central Calhoun, where I actually started coaching girls. So it's kind of a really cool thing to have happen. How are you liking coaching so far?
I love it. I think that it's definitely a lot different, and it's opened my eyes a lot and made me realize a lot of stuff that I could have done better as a wrestler, and just looking at it from a different perspective, not as the athlete, has changed a lot for my perspective of the sport a little bit, and just also like helping girls and seeing a difference in like maybe the way I coach or the way I speak when I explain things.
Yeah, so the South Central Calhoun room, they're starting to build a pretty decent sized team. I think I talked to
Mhm.
Courtney earlier, and it was about 12 or so girls on the team. What are some of the things you've been able to do as a coach for those girls?
Well, I haven't gotten into this part as much, but I really want to help girls with the mental aspect of wrestling, because I think that was one thing I was really good at as a wrestler, that I just had good confidence and was able to talk myself into knowing I was a good wrestler instead of talking myself out of that. Um, but I think just helping girls with throws, like I loved throws, obviously. Maybe not too much, maybe not help them too much with them. But I think that I've just helped a little bit more with technique and more of the little things than the wide, like the big move, just little parts that make the move better when you
Nice.
do it.
And so, you're working with Jeff King, who was also an assistant when I was there, so I know Jeff really well. Uh, what are some things that in this short period of time, it's only been a few weeks in the room, what have you learned from Jeff so far?
I'd say what I've learned from him is just like I'd say him having a very like put together team. Everything is very like straightforward, put together. It's not like all over the place, and that's something that like if I were ever to be a head coach, I would want it to be um a very put together, mature like um team.
It's pretty
And I feel
pretty
like he's
organized, is
very
what you're
good at
saying.
that. Yeah,
Real
it's
real
very
organized.
organized.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
As far as I know where South Central Calhoun, kind of the Coach Schultz era, and I'm sure that those guys they all wrestled for Coach Schultz, so I'm sure it's very similar. Um, do they do things differently than the other rooms that you've been in?
Like Jeff and Schultz.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do they? Because I know Schultz had just kind of he was really good at taking somebody that may not have wrestled much and got them to a level where they could compete. He did that very systematically, kind of like what you're saying, organized. Uh, how are they different than say, let's say, like the Nevada room or you've told me in the past the Valley room, really good coach there. How are they different than those coaches?
Um, I'd say if someone needs like a little bit more help than someone else, taking them to the side and helping them individually, um, and then also like throwing them in just right away after that and letting them figure out things themselves, and then just also Schultz is very, very passionate about coaching, and I think that that shows, and the athletes see that and they want to be a part of it.
Nice. And I was kind of actually a surprise for me. Another assistant coach walked in the room the other day when our end of the tournament. You get a coach with Keegan, and that's actually the very first girl I've coached with. And she said she
Mhm.
hasn't been in the room a lot because she just finished up her stuff. But what's it like to have another female on staff to coach with you? It was really cool to see both of you in the chair in the corner together.
It just made me feel like the sport has finally started to like see other people's eyes, and like it just made me feel very grateful to be able to be sitting next to another female wrestler while coaching when I joined the sport and I had to practice with mostly all guys for a while.
Yeah, no, it was a very much a full circle moment for me to get to see both of you guys that I've worked with so much in the past in the coaching role. It was nice to know that some of that's going to happen before I step away as a coach. Um, you talked about seeing the sport differently uh, as a coach now. Do you feel like if you went back and wrestled now, you'd be a better wrestler because of the coaching?
Yeah, and I've only been coaching for a little bit, and I'm already like, oh my gosh, like I wish I would have done this and this and this as a wrestler, and it just makes me want to go back on the mat and just try everything I've preached to these athletes to do.
Is there a possibility of that in the future, you think?
I have been thinking about going to college, but it's definitely not like a 100% thing. But I definitely still have a lot of fire and passion in myself to wrestle, and I miss it a lot.
Yeah, because right now are you working as a para at South Central
Yeah, I
Calhoun?
am a para right now.
And how's that going for you?
I love it. It definitely has its hardships, but once things are good, they're really good. So I like that. I like working at the school and also coaching at the school. I think it makes things a lot easier and just getting to know all the staff. Everyone kind of knows each other. So
Yeah. What grade level are you working with?
right now, fourth and seventh grade, but I did start with fifth grade. So I kind of have a split schedule right now.
Oh, which do you have to travel? Are you up in Rockwell City or are you?
I travel 40 minutes, so I do not live in Rockwell City.
Well, I mean, as far as which school are you at? Are you at Rockwell City School or are you at the Lake City School?
Oh, Rockwell. Like
Rockwell. Okay.
the wrestlers come from Lake City
Yep.
to wrestle at Rockwell. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a para at the Rockwell School then.
hmm
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have to travel in the morning, go to work, travel again to go. At least you're where you're at. Um,
Yeah.
so so if we went back, do you think you'd go for teaching and coaching?
Um, like if I were to have gone to college,
If you are gonna, if you decide to go back, do you think it'd be for coaching and teaching, or what's your
I
thoughts?
I have been thinking a lot about teaching, but there's also some cons to it with just not having a summer job. Like,
Yep.
and the summer teachers don't have a job. And like, I'd have to go to school for 4 years to not have a job in the summer. So I really do think that teaching would be up my alley, but I'm also still thinking about all the pros and cons and everything.
Yeah. Well, you're young. I still haven't figured out what I want to do when I grow up, so you got
hmm
plenty of time. Let's go
Yeah.
back and talk a little bit about your career. You started in judo, right?
Yeah.
That's so what was, I mean,
Yep.
judo is always something I've always wanted to try. And I just, in our area, there just isn't a place to do judo. What were some of the things you did in judo as far as training? And you traveled a lot from talking to your dad. What was like the
Yeah.
judo start for you?
Judo is genuinely the most fun but hardest sport I've ever been in. Um, for me, it made me who am today. It really grew me as a person. Judo is the gentle way. It's a very competitive but yet loving, respectful sport. Um, it was very like repetitive, like all the moves. It's obviously just mostly throwing,
Uh-huh.
which made the sport hard because everyone's trying to throw. So everyone knows what you're trying to do when you're going against the person, which that's what made it hard for me. Um, I just loved being in the sport at such a young age and growing up doing that sport. And my coach, Brett Parkhill, I am forever grateful for him because I grew so much as a person just learning things from him.
And when did you make the switch to wrestling?
So I actually added jujitsu in as well around like I believe it was 12 or 13. And then my judo coach was actually the person that told me that I should try wrestling. And I did that around like the end of my eighth grade year. So that's when I made the change. And then I did all three sports for a little while and ended up not being able to keep that up. So I ended up deciding that I wanted to make wrestling my like full-time sport.
Nice. Did you do any other sports in high school or just wrestling?
I did rugby as well.
Oh, how was rugby? Was that a good time?
Rugby is really fun. That was kind of like my break sport away from wrestling for a little bit. So
Nice.
yeah, that sport was great.
I know the one thing that we want to talk about is a little bit. You experienced um, some bullying in your freshman year. Was it? It was your freshman year, wasn't it?
Freshman and sophomore year, and I moved a little bit into my junior year because of that.
Gotcha. It was hard mentally on you. I know that because I talked to your dad quite a bit. We've become very good friends over the years. Um, what advice would you give to maybe your wrestlers if they start experiencing something like this?
Um, I just would say don't don't let yourself stay somewhere for one thing. Like the only thing that held me back from leaving was my coach and my wrestling team. But ultimately that was not great for me. And also, not listening to what people have to say and not getting sucked into the social media aspect of bullying, because that was a big part for me. Was people would send me, oh, like, have you seen this? And it's like, I think that if things like this happen to other girls, they need to just say no, and I don't want to see it. So, yeah.
Not read the comments, huh? That's
Hmm.
the best advice you can have for that. I mean, it's hard because, I look back at, I'm not gonna, I didn't have maybe to that extent, but when I was a seventh, eighth grader, I was a pretty little dude and I got picked on a lot, but I got to go home and I didn't have to worry about social media and those things.
Yeah.
You guys don't get that opportunity. It's can be 24/7. So, um,
Hmm.
I think that'll help your coaching though. I think just to be able to help girls walk through that whole situation and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, you transferred to Nevada. Uh, Ended up you had a great high school career. Let's just talk about your high school career. Freshman year, I know you were sick and you didn't get the opportunity to wrestle at state. But
Hmm.
I think you were looking, man, you probably would have placed. I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was just
and
was like, oh my gosh, I wish. So,
so let's go to your sophomore year. What did you end up placing your sophomore year?
sophomore year, I placed third place, and I also had a terrible case of strep throat. Like I couldn't talk at all. So yeah, I got third place my freshman year. I mean, my sophomore year, sorry.
And then you transferred to Nevada your junior year. Is that correct?
Hmm. Yep.
And then how was that year? I'm struggling to remember exactly where you placed.
I got fourth my
Okay.
junior and senior year. So
Okay.
fourth both of those years.
And I would say, man, just the how hard it is anymore just to qualify, let alone place, man, it's really gotten hard. I mean, just in the few short years you've been wrestling, so we're like 5, 6 years into that. How has the level of wrestling changed?
It's changed a lot. Like, um, there's been some good and some bad. Like, there's been some really, really good girls graduating. But then there's been some really, really good girls coming up. So it's changed a lot. It's gotten harder to qualify, in my opinion.
I agree with your opinion. It has gotten a lot harder to
Mhm.
qualify. It's crazy how good some of the incoming freshmen are. And we're both Northwest Iowa coaches and man, it's tough. It's a tough qualify. You'll be a 1A school this year, that's correct, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll probably get stuck in the big 1A Northwest Iowa one school to one school area. So it's not an easy tournament when you show up and there's 20 other schools there having to compete against. But what do you think? I mean, man, it's crazy how good it's gotten and in such a short period of time. How are you helping your girls in your wrestling room prepare for that regional? Have you even talked about it yet? Is it not on our minds until later?
I don't believe it's on most of their minds. Besides, I've seen Emery Kramer work pretty hard. I think she
Yeah,
wants that a lot.
yeah,
So I see that in her. I don't really know if a lot of the athletes have thought that far into it yet, just because we've only had one tournament so far. But I'm
yep.
sure that they will soon realize the season isn't as long as it looks.
Oh, it's not. It goes extremely quick.
Mhm.
What does the room look like this year? I mean, what 12 wrestlers? I know Emery's a very experienced. Courtney's pretty experienced, but she's injured right now. What do you got in the room that you're looking forward to seeing, as they advance throughout the year? And if you don't
Um,
know
I'm
names, it's
just
okay, because I
I'm
don't know
just
names yet in my
looking
room.
I'm just looking to see everybody somehow get better, whether that's physically, mentally, like technically. Um, I just cannot wait to see these girls have a smile on their face once they raise their hand. And it's not any one individual for me. I'd love to see all of them succeed.
Nice. Um, You spent some time in the clubs in the Des Moines area. Actually, spent a lot of time in clubs in the Des Moines area. Mullen was kind of your base club, right? That's where you
Yeah,
did
I
most
loved
of your
mowing.
stuff. And what have you seen that the number of girls increase and going to Mullen? Have you seen, a lot of good things coming
Um,
out of there?
yeah, mowing. There is so many girls there. Like the last few times I went there, there were so many more girls. When I started there, it was Haley Glade, me, Skylar Slade. Now there is probably around 20, if not more, maybe if I'm not thinking correct. Maybe not, I don't know.
That
Around
sounds
that
probably about right.
number. But their practices are legit. Like they are very tiring. I love their practices, and I think that that's what formed me as a wrestler. And I think that's when I start to get got good. Like that's when I got good was when I went there.
And you did one other thing that I kind of always wanted to go down and watch. Uh, you went down to Perler quite often, didn't you? Or maybe not quite often, but
Yeah, I did. I went down there quite often. I loved Perler. It was
so
great.
what's a Perler? What's a weekend down at Perler's like?
So I went to some of the camps, but I also went to some of the like weekend ones, and I also went to like a little tournament they had there. I'll just give you what one of the days looks like. Wake up, eat breakfast, go to practice for 2 hours, have a little bit of a break, go to practice for 2 hours, and then have a little bit of a break, and then the last practice would be completely live. So it would be a
Nice.
whole complete live practice, and I loved that practice. That was my favorite one every single day that I was there.
Did Perler have a different approach to technique than other people that you've been around?
So much different.
I don't know
So
if you can. I've watched videos and how he does things, but is there a way to describe how he does it compared to, some of the other coaches you've been around?
just very unique. Like very unique, very motivating, explains very in depth and why these moves are better and how they help. And like I don't know, just why they are so good to use. And every single move that I've taken from Perler have completely stuck in in me as a wrestler. Like they make you do so many reps of each um technique that they show you that like it's just burnt into your system at that point.
Nice. Are you using a little bit of that in the South Central Calhoun room?
I think I've shown a few moves. Definitely didn't have as great as of an outcome because I'm not him and I don't know how he teaches it 100%.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It takes time. Takes time to learn that stuff,
Mhm.
and it's fun to see you doing those. I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about just getting to know you a little bit better as a person, as a wrestler. Kind of some fun questions. Let's start with our favorite subject as wrestlers, food. Uh, what are some of the things that you had post weigh-in when you had that 1 hour before you would wrestle?
Um, I would eat Hawaiian rolls with some meat, cheese, and mayonnaise, Celsius. I'd make sure to eat before I drank the Celsius or I'd get sick. I loved V8 Energy as well. Fruit snacks, probably not great for me, but I also loved like lettuce wraps with the meat and cheese if I was really struggling on weight. I liked beef sticks, dried pineapple. Um, I think that's really all I can think of right now, but I'm sure there
That
was a lot more.
that sounded like some Ekin food there. Some
Yeah,
some Ekin influence. I know you did that for a little while.
yeah.
Dev, if you do you have a guilty pleasure food, something that you absolutely love to have that you know that's probably not the food that we should have as a wrestler?
Um, Probably anything really carb heavy like spaghetti. Like anything with noodles, I love.
And if you could go out anywhere, where are we gonna go eat?
Probably Canes.
You're a
I love
chicken
Canes.
finger person to the bone, huh?
Yeah, yeah, but Canes, that was one thing I craved a lot. I would literally have a notes app full of stuff I wanted to eat after wrestling season ended.
And Cane's was number one on the list, huh? Nice.
Most of the time, yep. Or Taco Bell.
Gotcha. So, favorite vacation spot, where do you want to go? Is there a bucket list place that you'd love to be?
Probably like the Bahamas, or I really want to go to Greece.
So you're more of the beach person, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've found through this that there's two type of people in the world. There's the mountain people and there's the beach people.
Uh-huh.
And I am definitely a beach people because I don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
So, any TV shows we're binging right now?
Grey's Anatomy.
That's someone a lot of people watch Grey's Anatomy. Did you watch what was the dumb one everybody was watching this summer? Um, the Island, Love Island.
Oh, yeah, I did watch that. I forced my boyfriend to watch it as well, and he got hooked on it too.
Oh, it's a horrible show.
It is horrible, but it's like it's so cheesy. It's just kind of funny.
Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Um, I really love Where the Crawdads Sing.
That is something I have not seen yet. Is it a cheesy girly flick?
No, it's like a murder mixed with like love and a lot of like just background story on like this girl's life that she had no like parental figure at all.
Gotcha. Favorite
Hmm.
wrestling shoe?
Nike Inflix.
Which is that what you're wearing right now? Inflix?
Oh yeah, I have like 5 pairs of them.
Nice. What number you got? I just got fours. I really like them.
The newest ones,
Yeah,
I have just I love the original ones.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, they fit better. They're almost like they come pre-broke in. It was kind of different to put them on.
Yeah, I like how they fit like a sock.
Yeah, no, definitely very good. Um, how about what's your favorite takedown? What if you
Favorite
could hit,
takedown.
yeah,
I have a few, but right now, if I was in a wrestling match, I would love to underhook someone. And it's weird. I underhook, put my foot behind the other person's foot and ankle pick them at the same time. So it's kind of like an ankle
yep,
pick trip.
I know what you're talking about. Know exactly what you're talking about. Kind of that cross. They step and then you step across. Yep, got it. On top, how you pinning somebody?
I love stacking people. I also just like a common breakdown to a chicken wing.
Gotcha. What's your favorite way to get away?
Granby roll.
Ooh,
Pretty
Granby roll.
basic.
What now, since you were a judo person, what's the big bomb coming? What's your favorite throw?
Favorite throw. My favorite throw in judo was an Osoto Gari,
So how does
which
that translate?
is like a leg trip, but from like the front here, and then you go to the outside leg. So like an outside leg reap.
Okay.
That's kind
Um,
of what would translate.
so if you were so this question I'm going to ask you as a wrestler and as a coach. Coin flip, second period, you get the choice. What is your choice if you're wrestling?
Like what position?
What's your favorite? Where do you feel the most comfortable?
Oh, neutral.
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 What have you found so far as a coach? Where are you suggesting your team goes right now? Or is
I
it very
haven't suggested much just because we've had one tournament, but I think that a lot of our girls are actually pretty good on in neutral, and a lot of them have done pretty good on bottom as well, surprisingly. I feel like girls struggle with that a lot, including myself. I struggled with that, but I feel like neutral is a pretty common position to be pretty good at.
Yeah, I think you're right. We've struggled traditionally off a bottom, but God, this last couple tournaments, we've done very well off the bottom. So I don't know if that's part of
Hmm.
just the progression of the of girls wrestling, if we're starting to figure it out and just do better at it.
Hmm.
So if you had your choice, would you wrestle freestyle or folk style?
I didn't do a ton of freestyle, but I think freestyle is more up my alley.
I think so.
I think it's more my style. I think I'd be better at freestyle than folk style.
You like the big, well, the big moves, the not necessarily
The
control, but
big
yeah,
crazy moves. That's what I like.
yes, and exposure. That's all
Mhm.
fun. So you've had a lot of different coaches. Is there one phrase that you like hear in the back of your head while you're wrestling, like, or something that you remember your coaches saying, that maybe you're going to pass on?
Um, so I had like sorry, my judo coach, Brett Parkhill, I actually have it on a t-shirt, always said to tell myself, I'm a winner, I am a champion, I am strong. And it seems very, very cheesy, but if you really make yourself believe those things about yourself, it works a lot. I feel like once I started to really drill that into my head, I had a lot more success in my matches. I would pace back and forth and I would make myself believe these things. And I think that going into the match, having a good mindset helped a lot. Like, I would literally just tell myself, I'm a winner, I am a champion, I am strong. And I had to force myself to believe these things.
And I'm guessing those are some of the things that you're going to try to pass on to this next group of girls. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I think it might be a little hard because I think they might be like, that's weird. But like, I thought that too when he first told me. And then I was like, you know what? I need some motivation. I need something to help me. And I relied back on that. And it has worked wonders for me. And I've also changed it a little bit to say, like, I'm smart, I'm technical, I'm strong. Like, you can make so many different versions of it. But I just always stuck to what my coach told me.
Very nice. So how are you liking the new rule set that started, with the 3 point take? So you got to wrestle most of your career on the 2 point takedown. Now we have the 3 point near or takedown, 2, 3, and 4 point near fall, 1 point of contact. How are you liking the new rule set?
I loved it my senior year. I think yeah, we had it our I had it my senior year. The points add up really fast, especially when the other person isn't getting points.
Yeah, it's
They add up super fast.
I don't know how
I actually really liked the 3 point takedown.
nice. I don't know how many times I looked up and I couldn't believe what the score was already, and I was like, "Yep, that does add up." Crap.
Yeah.
I can't. It's crazy how fast that can happen. It is really crazy.
Hmm.
Um, while we're talking about rules, and there's a lot of people bring up the like a step out point. What's your thoughts on that, or going to a modified rules?
I was gonna say to take away the step out for modified during off season, so I'm gonna say I hate that rule.
You hate that rule,
Completely,
huh?
because I hate it because so many girls try to purposefully just push the other person out just because they want a point. And I
Yeah,
don't think that's what wrestling should be about.
yeah. No, I don't. I don't disagree with you. That's actually in folk style could be considered stalling, right?
Yeah.
The straight push. Straight push is definitely stalling. I don't think they're supposed to award a point on straight push in modified either, but I could be wrong on that. Just got a couple questions left for you, but
Sure.
these are thinkers, okay?
Hmm.
And since you're helping out at a school, this will be easy because it's a fill in the blank. Wrestling has taught me to blank.
Have discipline for myself.
Very good. And now here's one I've been asking, and I really like the question, and I just I gotta explain it a little bit. Wrestle like a girl. I don't mean the organization. I want to know what you think it means to wrestle like a girl, and then on top of that, what do you think it means to the South Central Calhoun girls?
Wrestle like a girl to me means wrestle very technical. I think we wrestle very technical and very flexible, and with a lot of heart. Um, and to the South Central Calhoun girls, I believe they think around the same thing. I think girls have it in their heart a little bit more and take it pretty deep, take the sport pretty deep emotionally.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a different emotional level to the sport of girls wrestling, and
Hmm.
I think to me that's what makes it so much fun to coach.
Yeah.
Is there's that level of there's a whole different level to it, and it's pretty exciting. I'm going to give you an opportunity to have some final thoughts for the night. You know, being a brand new coach, uh, coming from, one year removed from competition, brand new coach. What are your final thoughts for people?
Um, for wrestlers that are still in high school, your senior year is going to go very, very, very fast. So savor every moment and enjoy every moment.
I like it. Well, thank you very much for doing this. We've had quite the journey together already, and I don't think it's over yet. So
Nope.
I'm definitely excited to see what happens in the next couple of years. So thank you very much for coming on. Definitely appreciate it.
Yep.